what time it is.
Hang on, false start. What's going on here?
You keep the money.
There we go. Let's try this again.
You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. And we are live. Greetings to our loyal WFYL listeners around the world. Welcome back to your Philadelphia live stream, only on the Freedom Station. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again, because you still have the right to hear and the right to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike G. As always, with me are Philly Chris, Russ, the producer, and Liberty Lee. And you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters. And you can listen to our program every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So let's be heard. I want to remind our listeners that you can participate in the free and open exchange of thoughts and ideas throughout the entire week by visiting MikeGinTheMorning.com. What's it called, Philly Chris?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
How about you, Russ?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
Liberty?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
You can catch all of our videos to see what shenanigans Philly Chris and Mike G have been up to throughout the entire week. You can check out our social media profiles, see the memes Mike G has been making as of late. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber, tell your Uncle Jerry, tell anybody who listen to check us out at MikeGinTheMorning.com. I also want to remind our listeners about the powerhouse lineup we've got here at the Freedom Station. Kick off your mornings with Scott Adams, bringing you the Scott Adams Show weekdays at 9 a.m. Friend of the program, Rick Crump, with the Kinetic Faith, preaching value, service, and order, coming at you weekdays at 11 a.m. We've got the one and only Dan the Man Bongino, coming at you weekdays at noon. He is the headliner, intellectual giant Ben Shapiro, bringing you the Ben Shapiro Show weekdays at 3 p.m. And finally, still a welcomed addition to the Freedom Station family. I believe he and his wife are expecting soon. We've got Michael Knowles, bringing you the Michael Knowles Show weekdays at 5 to 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. So don't forget to tune in and show him some love. And with that, you know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hit it, Russ. You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. You know, I usually try to play it cool and be a professional, but I can tell you that in my monitor right now, we are in the middle of the jungle, and I did not have...
I was seeing that too, yeah.
The slides that prompt me as to schedule of the station, so I had to remember that off the top of my head. Right. I suppose I've done it enough times, but usually I'm seeing Scott Adams, 9 a.m.
Right. Yeah, I see us on like some
Rick Crump, Kinetic Faith, value, service, and order.
Yeah, somebody changed it.
Wait,
and instead, I'm seeing me and Chris sitting in the middle of the jungle. On
I see the same thing. I was like, what happened? It looks kind of cool, though. It looks like a very serene, peaceful setting. There's some evergreen trees behind us. I don't know if the folks at home are seeing this, but I feel very peaceful right now.
I don't think they are seeing it.
Well, maybe that's good.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out if that switches it back. Let's see if that did anything.
I don't know how you would be in charge of it.
I don't know.
Are you Chris, the producer?
Apparently, I might as well.
As soon as somebody changes it, it changes it for everybody.
For everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody clicked on it.
So I had to change it back.
Yeah, I was Googling it. Or
I guess that only applies to my end. You go up to the top and it'll say together mode.
It should be okay now.
I think Liberty's the guilty one.
Does anybody know where DuckDuckGo is based? Where are their headquarters?
Let me DuckDuckGo it.
And for anybody who doesn't know what DuckDuckGo is, he used it interchangeably with Google because DuckDuckGo is a search engine.
No,
and
Google doesn't exist.
Allegedly, they protect your privacy more so than other search engines.
Although I heard recently they're veering off that path a little bit. I don't know for sure exactly.
Really? So they got
what I
some
heard,
people
yeah.
into it. But what is their selling point then, if not for privacy? Because I've tried to use it, and I will tell you, it is an
Not the same.
inferior search engine to Google. Period.
Oh wow, they're local. They're very local.
Well, I was going to say I was driving in Paoli today.
That's where they're from.
That is the DuckDuckGo headquarters.
Apparently it is. I didn't know that. Yeah, DuckDuckGo Inc. is located in Paoli, Pennsylvania.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to go down there and have a talk with them. Ask them why
definitely
they're
should.
changing up their policies. It's
We should
surprising.
definitely do that.
We should just
Bring a
show up
camera
at their
crew.
door.
We'll bring Russ.
Yeah, just show up. Why not? I was
Yeah.
driving by and I said, "Is that the DuckDuckGo?" It's just like a little shopping center looking thing, and they've got the sign
Interesting.
on the outside.
That must explain why you see all the billboards on 95 locally, because they're a local company. So how about
Gotcha.
that? All right. DuckDuckGo.
Well, I think we have to gather some more information before we prompt people to patronize local search engines, depending upon whether or not they're going to be protecting our privacy. from the
Exactly.
internet,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, you guys. There's a difference between protecting it and just violating it less.
Oh,
I think they
true.
might just be, not as bad as Google, but maybe not better.
I heard Slick Willie has a search engine coming out. Isn't that true?
what's it called?
It's called Slick Willie.
just Slick Willie.
Yeah, it's just called Slick Willie.
It's like Ask Jeeves,
That's going to become
but
interchangeable
Ask
with
Slick
Google
Willie.
too.
I think
Yes.
so.
Ask,
Slick
instead of
Willie.
Ask Jeeves, Ask Slick Willie. It's
Yeah.
going to be interchangeable with Google. Like, did you Slick Willie that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Leave that to
I
that.
own Google. I am the Google. What's Google?
Probably are at this point.
Does it count if I hit send? Am I the one who searched it?
Could be Oval Office
Stacks
stuff.
Farm said Rita and CB popping up in the comments. Give them a hey now.
Hey now, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Stacks Farm said hey now.
And did I hear a little birdie told me we have a good guest lined up later in the show or something possibly? Is that true?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
It's tough when they're on California time. There's a comedian who has been thrust into the limelight within the last couple of days for a tweet about the zucchini.
Oh, yes. Right.
And it was a joke. And
Well-
is absolutely getting both hammered and supported by people on each side. There's like no in between. There's nobody who's pretty much like, guys, it's just a joke. Let's not take it too seriously.
Jokes aren't
tell
funny
jokes.
anymore, I heard. Yeah.
Comedians tell jokes sometimes. You can
This is
either
news
laugh
to
if you
me.
think it's funny or don't laugh if you don't think it's funny, but we don't need your entire opinion.
Well, the thing with comedians, Mike, you say that they tell jokes, but lately there's been a lot of late night ones that have just been talking about what are we calling
Zucchinis.
it? Zucchini, whatever. There's too many fruits and vegetables walking around here.
Well, yeah, especially
Oh,
on the
there's
show.
the zucchini, there's the turnip, and there's the potato, right?
Potato, yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay.
potato you put on your face, right?
And there's always mustard.
Always mustard.
That's right.
And bowls of mustard.
A
if you're
mustard
The potato
injection.
goes on your face. The turnip makes you sick.
Mhm.
And debatably, the zucchini makes you sick.
I don't know if it's a debate anymore. Might be, yeah, interesting what's going on there for sure. For sure.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, you need a joke passport, Gary says in the comments.
A joke
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
passport.
Yeah, there's no telling jokes anymore.
No,
Oh, I
You shouldn't
agree
even
that
joke
you need
about it.
you need a joke passport, but it doesn't have to be funny.
I'm kind of offended that you're talking so openly about the jokes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What
Well,
joke?
there's a long get online because there are a long line of people who are not happy with Mike G. And
Yeah.
we get our fair share of hate mail around here.
Mm-hmm. Keeps us going. Yeah, we should
For
read
those
some
of
of
us,
that again.
for those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So, Philly Chris, I understand that you attended the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference on behalf of the Mike G in the Morning program last week.
Yeah, I was honored to attend. I know your schedule was so crazy with all your client stuff, so I was happy to head up there with Russ and Susan And Rich Crump was up there as well, a friend of the program, and had the opportunity to do a few live broadcasts and meet some of the folks that are running for various government positions and see the sites. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. It's good
That's
times.
great.
Actually, I put a little video together. We can play that in a minute or two, but yeah.
Sure. So
good.
who were some of the people who were there? I saw some of the names and I thought it was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, kind of a big deal, like Russ.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, well, the folks running for the governor race and
so who was there for those running for governor? Charlie Giroux?
Yeah, he was there. Yep. I'm pulling out my thing. I got my well, you can't
He's been on the
maybe.
program. He's been on the program. Did you say hi?
I did say hi briefly. I got to speak to a few of them. Let's see, the candidates for...
Is Barletta there?
Yeah, yep. All your regular folks. Yeah, Kathy Burnett, Jeff Bartos, George.
Okay,
Bachetta.
so Kathy is, and she's WFYL family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And she's been on this program a couple of times too.
We should have her on again.
Yeah, we did talk to her briefly. She stopped by, and one of her administrative assistants came on and did a quick live broadcast with us, a younger guy who's been working for her, so that was interesting.
Oh, great.
And we did talk to her about possibly coming on, although she didn't want to come on at the show. She didn't have the opportunity to do that there, but maybe down the road we'll get her to come on. Yeah, so some interesting folks there.
I've had the pleasure of knowing her for many years at this point.
Yeah, I think she's got a good shot, actually.
Solid human being. That's,
right.
That's what I can tell you about her. Solid human being.
Definitely. Yeah, she's the real deal. She has a pretty interesting backstory, too, with, coming from virtually nothing, the way she described it, and working her way up the ladder on her own. So real person, which is nice. Don't always get that. So
her mother was a young teenager when she had her, and in a dirt floor in the home, I think she said, when she was on the program.
Yeah.
Strong supporter of our Second Amendment. I know that our rights would be in good hands if she were elected. So that's good news. And who else is running for Senate? McCormick, right?
Go back to the list here.
For Senate?
Yeah.
You know what? I wish I had a PDF of a... You wouldn't happen to have a PDF of the
Well, I'm
brochure,
trying to pull the guide out here. So, Senate, we have, Kathy Burnett, Jeff Bartos, George Bachetta, Sean Gale. David
Bachetta. I just saw a commercial for Bachetta today. He was actually a civil litigator out of Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, was he? Okay. All right.
Yeah, trial attorney.
Yeah, okay.
I had no idea. Usually people who do that kind of litigation, I believe it's plaintiff-oriented civil litigation, if I'm not mistaken. And typically people who do that kind of thing are not conservative by any stretch of the imagination. And one of the reasons is Republicans have been sort of known for lobbying politicians to put caps on civil damages.
Right.
Protecting companies from liability. And saying, okay, you can only collect this much money if there's some kind of catastrophe and people are injured. You can only sue the company for this much money, which I think is totally bonkers, because in every other aspect of life, conservatives claim to be government hands off, right?
Sure.
And if that's the cost of doing business, that if you hurt people really bad, you're going to have to pay a lot of money and maybe go out of business.
Right.
That just seems that if that's the playing field, then that's the playing field. Free market would say, don't government step in and start putting caps on things.
Right.
So I could understand how somebody who's generally conservative could be involved in plaintiff-oriented civil litigation, but it's usually not the case. Because the politicians on the Republican side have stifled that area of the law, or at least made great efforts to do so.
Yeah,
that's
right
Bachetta. Who else?
Let's see here. Yeah, Bachetta. Sean Gale, David McCormick, Carla Sands, and Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz was there?
He was there. Yeah.
Can confirm he was there in person.
He was there in person. Yeah.
Did you ask him anything?
Possibly. I might have talked to him briefly.
Really?
He's a pretty nice guy. Yeah. What do you guys think of him?
I've always been interested in his content as a doctor
Mm-hmm.
because he seems to be a little bit more open-minded in terms of not standing in line with big pharma and
Right.
big medicine, so to speak.
Yeah, I appreciate that over the past, year or so or whatever he spoke up, against some of the stuff going on as well.
Well, even before
Yeah.
that, he's
Mhm.
always been interested in exploring other options other than always taking a pill,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just pump yourself full of pills and that's it.
Right.
Maybe losing weight is a good idea. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I remember years ago watching one of his episodes and he had to get a colonoscopy and he didn't do the proper prep. Like he kind of blew it off. I don't know if they did on purpose, maybe just to,
No.
Yeah. And they showed he went and got yelled at by the doctor because they had to reschedule it and all because he didn't, follow the appropriate protocol and he ate like before the.
No way.
Yeah. I'm sure you can find it out there.
You should know better, no?
Yeah, you should know better. Yeah, but he did. That was one of the things that I've had a couple of them now, but I was a little concerned about having to go through that. But he made it, seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. So
I'm trying to think of how I can make this comment on the air, but it's much like a politician to be full of.
Nothing but a crapshoot from there.
That's
Full
the
of
issue, right?
yeah,
What's that? Yeah.
Full of the zucchini. I don't know.
yeah.
No.
Hmm. But he's like a true doctor. He helps you out in a time of need. I would say about Dr. Oz. Real
Same
person.
reason they canceled the colonoscopy is the same reason many people dislike politicians. We'll leave it at that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you said you've got
Yeah.
some video footage of what?
Yeah, actually, I put.
I heard that you had a flat tire. Is that going to be in the video or do you-
There might be something in there about it actually, and it's funny because one of our listeners here, Gary, saying he was up there vandalizing tires. So now I know what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as soon as I got there, I pulled in the parking lot of the hotel where the conference was, and all of a sudden my car started making a horrendous noise, and the tire was flat. So
Rita says, "Isn't Oz a liberal? He's in the
Apparently not.
Republican primary."
yeah.
In the Republican.
I've heard that from other people, though. I think he used to lean more that way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And there are some people expressing concerns about.
Yeah, people have
some of his
definitely
views.
criticized him for
Mhm.
I think part
I
of
think
the,
because
being conservative.
Yeah. Russ is a
He's in
liberal,
the-
though.
he's in the limelight.
Right.
He's certainly not
So-
winning in the polls right now, right?
No, he's not.
I don't think so. I think Burnett
I
has a
used to
good
think
chance.
so.
Just based on the applause at the event, she got the most applause.
Sure. Well,
Well-
certainly among people who would be attending that conference,
That's part of it, yeah. Mhm.
she's a very solid candidate who's in line with those values.
Right.
She's certainly not a rhino by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. But
She's not somebody who's going to be there just to play ball and
Right.
have benefits and everything like that.
Maybe-
She's a real powerhouse. Did
The
they
only-
do a straw poll, didn't they?
They did.
They
and
did
I
do
ha-
a straw poll, and she won it, yeah.
yeah, well,
She
she
won
won.
it.
I guys, I have a picture of that slide. I don't have it up on screen, but I have it on my phone. She won by almost double what the second place candidate.
Wow. So can you just read us the results then? If you can't pull the slide up, can you read us the results?
Yeah.
I did see her voting quite a bit, though.
So-
over there. She was-
Sean Gale got 9.
It was rigged.
Sean
But
Gale
there
got
was no-
9.
Wait,
Door
hold
for
on.
door.
She was up by double, and then the mail-in votes came in.
Right.
Yeah.
And she kept
And then
grabbing
she
Russ.
lost by double.
Right. Crushed.
Oh man.
Uh,
So we have Sean Gale and George Bachetto at 9, Dr. Oz at 43, David McCormick at 50, Carla Sands at 52, Jeff Bartos at 64, and Kathy Barnett at 127.
Wow.
Mm.
Just blowing out the competition.
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's
Dr.
crazy.
Oz, the only thing I can see is that coming from like Hollywood or that, being on TV, sometimes you see things and you're like, it's eye opening,
Yeah.
Sure.
What I
That's
think
one-
is, I
So
think
he's got a
his
different
show.
perspective, you're saying?
Mm.
Yeah, he's got a different perspective because I used to watch his show. He did ask a lot of good questions, but he got a bad rap from a lot of people. Like he was like just like a sales doctor, but he asked a lot of questions. He had different things on there, like he had all different different kind of sectors like chiropractic, supplements. Like he would go through all different things, but it was a daytime talk show, similar to the doctors, so it's kind of like a.
Apparently, he has some patents on some devices used in heart surgery, I believe, is what he said when he was speaking. I had an opportunity to listen to him, so.
Randy says Oz is for red flag laws and supports funding the CDC to research gun violence as a medical emergency.
I want to verify that. Hang on.
Interesting, huh? Okay.
Last time CDC put out a study, they used between 500,000 and 3 million defensive gun uses every year in this country.
Yeah, it's something you don't see enough about, brother.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, red flag laws, though, that'll be a little bit of a problem. We've talked about this before, how I think it was Washington Post put out an article that there's already something better and more effective than red flag laws, and went into what I've been talking about for the last, 8 years, with how people abuse the mental health system and have people like involuntarily treated
like
or committed.
302 stuff or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
I wonder how many people know what a 302 is if you just say it like that. 302'd.
I bet a lot of people are not familiar with it unless they know somebody or they've, been, for some reason they're familiar with it or they've been to one of your seminars.
That's
or
a typical
know
question
Russ.
for the office during intake, because we got to figure out if there's anything that would jam up their gun rights, not just what they think is going to jam up their gun rights.
Sure.
So we got to ask them a number of questions, and one of them is, have you ever had any mental health treatment? We had a new guy who was working at the office. And he asks, have you ever been 302'd? And I had to have a discussion with him as a fact. So you can't ask them, have you ever been 302'd? Because number one, some people might not know what that means. And number two, particularly if you had it happen out of state, right?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, I've never been 302'd, but I had involuntary commitment in New Jersey.
Right, because it's the 302 is like a Pennsylvania thing, right? Yeah.
Section,
people
Section
are
7302 of the Mental Health Procedures Act.
Okay.
But the other thing is that a lot of people who have been 302'd don't know that they've been 302'd, because it's not like they show you something and put it in your face and say, here, you've been 302'd now, congratulations, you can never own guns again for the rest of your life. A lot of people say, look, dude, I was there voluntarily. I went there, I said, please help me.
Right.
This couldn't have been a 302. And then sure enough, I got the certification with that box checked off and the doctor's signature. Unfortunately, you have been. Liberty, I cut you off because I was in the middle of a thought and it was like a freight train and you couldn't stop it.
Oh, no, I was going to say people are more familiar with 51 something because the celebrities
5150.
5150, I know, like Britney Spears, Kanye, or something. Like, I think like some celebrities were that, and that's what they used to do, the conservatorship. So I think that's more of the known one.
Well, it's like the California version of the 302, I believe. It became popular because wasn't 5150 a Van Halen album?
I think so, right?
Didn't they do that?
I believe so.
A Van Halen album.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right?
Sounds right to me. I don't know.
Grab the guitar and play it, Mike.
The phrase 5150 has been used for some time now across the nation to refer to an action of a doctor, mental health professional, police officer, or even a family member involuntarily committing someone to a mental health treatment facility.
Okay.
It's the California law. The temporary involuntary psychiatric commitment.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, good. Britney, I think it happened to Britney Spears, and then all that conservatorship stuff happened.
Oh, yeah, what a mess for her.
National news, yeah.
Wikipedia, they got 5150. I gotta say, it's gonna say something like, for the Van Halen album. Oh, here we go. For the 1986 Van Halen album, 5150 is the seventh studio album by American rock band Van Halen. It was released on March 24th, 1986 by Warner Brothers Records and was the first of 4 albums to be recorded with lead singer Sammy Hagar, who replaced David Lee Roth. Any thoughts on Sammy Hagar, Philly Chris?
I like Sammy Hagar. He's good.
Yeah.
But it's hard to beat the original. But
yeah, who do you like better, David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
I met David Lee Roth one time. Never tell you that?
No kidding.
Yeah. A friend of the show, my other buddy Mike, Mike Troilo there. We were down at the Borgata, and we saw him playing a few years ago. And after the show, we were walking across like the casino floor, and all of a sudden a bunch of big burly men from behind were like, move, move, move. And all of a sudden they kind of divided us and he was in the middle of a bunch of bodyguards, and they went to the center bar, so we kind of followed and got in right before they shut it down.
Oh wow!
So met him real brief, yeah. But it was a good
Go
show.
over to him and say, "I like Sammy Hagar."
Yeah, I was like, "Give me a hug, give me an autograph." Yeah.
The album hit #1 on Billboard's 200 chart, surpassing the band's previous album, 1984, which had peaked at #2 behind Michael Jackson's Thriller album, on which Eddie made a guest appearance.
Nice.
That's 5150.
5150.
Huh.
What songs are on this one? I mean, Good Enough, Why Can't This Be Love, Get Up, Dreams, Summer Nights, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In, 5150, and Inside.
Yeah. Maybe have to prepare some of those for the next jam session.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we're going to play that album if we're doing that anyway.
Guys, some
Yeah.
really random news. I just have to say, a Lancaster man was arrested for allegedly putting anti-Biden sticker on gas pumps. You could be arrested
For that?
Oh,
Really?
gosh.
It
Yeah.
just came up.
It's
I
called
guess you're not
vandalism.
supposed to put stickers on property that's not yours, you know?
But to get
Wow.
arrested?
That's crazy.
I guess it's really not the right thing to do,
I
right?
love how they
Yeah.
call it anti-Biden stickers instead of anti-high gas price stickers.
I did that stickers.
Yeah,
They are everywhere,
did
though. You
that.
see them everywhere now.
I have
Well,
seen-
we
They were
couldn't
selling them at
prove
the,
that he did it, but it said it on the sticker. I did that.
They were selling them up at the leadership conference. A bunch of people had them at their tables.
Oh, really?
man.
Yeah, I almost grabbed a few. I
I
saw
mean,
one
it
in
says
an elevator.
5150 was a good album.
I
Yeah,
ordered them a
51.
long time ago.
And
What's that?
you've put them all over your car instead of gas pumps, right?
I ordered the Biden stickers because I wanted to, like, I don't know, one day put it like on Philly Chris's head or something, but he never came.
Yeah, I did that stickers.
He did do this. He made me lose my hair.
Thanks a lot, Biden.
Right.
So what's going on with this flat tire situation?
Oh, well, I guess we could play the clip. Should we play the clip from the conference? Might be
I've
an
got a
opportunity.
flat tire story for you as well.
Oh yeah, you want to tell that first, or?
Well, I don't know. What do you think is appropriate? I don't know what your video is going to show.
Well, do the video, I guess. Might as well get that out of the way. You want to cue that up there, Russell, our wonderful producer, one of the best producers in the business, Russ, the producer.
Thanks. I'm positive
Biden-
that you mean that.
Much like Biden is the greatest president in the United States.
Exactly. Are you well rested right now, Russ?
Shut up, Chris.
Did you get enough rest?
Oh man.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Pennsylvania Leadership Conference.
And
My
apparently
honor to
not many
attend on
people
behalf.
watch this video. That's the
What?
issue because
Mhm.
all I see is Mike and Chris sitting in the jungle.
Yeah,
on
I'm trying to
steps.
talk a little.
Change
so we
it
don't have
back to
dead air.
grid view.
Yeah, if you're in the car right now, like a couple
Oh, yeah,
100,000 of you
that's
probably
true.
are listening.
That's
Check this out
right.
tomorrow.
A tremendous
Um,
amount of people will be listening
yeah.
over the airwaves in their vehicle. Maybe Russ can just edit this out for the airwaves.
Yeah.
Sure, Russ will just edit it. Let's just play the clip.
Yeah. All right. Play the clip.
Oh, yeah.
Do it live.
Am I going to see it?
Apparently not. Should I like describe it?
Nah.
What are you doing to help ensure that our elections are free, fair, secure, and open to all?
Yeah, thank you. So the election happens in 2020, November 3rd. Remember that day. And a couple days after that, leadership came out to the General Assembly and said we're not aware of any fraud. But meanwhile, I don't know how anyone cannot be aware of any fraud. If you check your emails and messages and people from across the state calling in, hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands. Doug, this happened to me, that happened to me, do something, Senator, do something. And then I wrongly imagine, or senior folks that have been doing politics for a larger part of their life would actually do something they did. So.
commentator. He has Sunday night with Trey Gowdy. He has spent time touring the country and talking about great conservative causes. And boy, has he come to the right place, right? Please welcome Congressman Trey Gowdy.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you.
Philly Chris coming at you live here from the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference. Just got done changing my tire here with Dr. Oz, and got the spare on the little donut spare there on the car for the trip back to Philly. But thanks for the jam session, Liberty. You guys were rocking out, and it was awesome. I wish I could have been there, but got a lot of good information for you guys from the conference. So peace and love, peace and love.
Way to go, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best producer in radio business, Russ, the producer. Russ, the producer.
Chris, that was uncalled for. That was uncalled for, Chris.
I'm behind. I am behind because I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see it? Oh.
So I hear it and then I see it after the fact. Watching Russell sleeping.
You got a couple naps in there, you know.
I do like the part that said title text here.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
10
like
out
really
of 10,
under the wire to
Chris.
get that done right before the show, and I must have clicked on something accidentally. I thought I had checked it, but
and couldn't think of anything. So.
right. Just inserted.
Hey,
Title
use your
text here.
imagination.
Right. Yeah, but
Guess
yeah.
I'm
Thanks to
listening
Dr. Oz for helping me change the tire. Then we got a quick picture after there.
Yeah, the
But-
people the airwaves couldn't see Russ sleeping either.
Gary's
Billy
here
Chris is
busting
really
my
come around
chops.
and then thinks that Russ is the best producer in the business.
right. He can produce a show while taking a nap. I don't know how you were sleeping with all that noise in the background, but you were tired.
Dude, I stayed up so many hours, and then I
can
just
produce
didn't
this program in my sleep.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, all right.
That's right.
Well, I got Gary here busting my stones about the show starting late.
Russ did that.
Yeah, Russ did that.
Russ did that stickers. That's what we need. Yeah.
He'll be sleeping in the sticker. The picture of him sleeping.
Right. Oh goodness.
That's crazy. What's going on with all these flat tires? I had one of the guys who works for my office came in last week. Same thing happened. He was just driving on Route 100 in from Westchester, and I get a call. Hey, I got a blowout on Route 100. I'm going to be a little late to the office today. And yesterday, I was going to court. I had a wild week as far as court went. Felt like I was in court somewhere else every 5 minutes. And yesterday's day was Chester County in the morning, Lehigh County in the afternoon, back to Chester County for a seminar over at Kimberton.
Okay.
So after Chester County, since heading towards the Lehigh Valley, stopped at the Chester Springs office, got some work done over there. I think I had a meeting, and then hit the road to head up to the Lehigh Valley. And it was at an MDJ's office.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 2 blocks from the MDJ's office. It's a case that I'm working with, Rich Roberts. And I called Rich, and I'd not been to this particular MDJ's office. And so I was asking where you park. He's like, oh, there's no lot. You got to park on the street. And he's outside. As I look down, I see there's a notice on my gauge, tire pressure low.
Uh-oh.
So I look at it. It said 25. I was like, 25? That's not right. Something's going on.
Definitely low.
So then he met me outside when I parked. And I told him, hey, this is saying 25. And neither one of us are mechanics by any stretch of the imagination. And he's like, oh, well, let's take a look. Let's see if there's a nail or something. So we're looking around. He can't see anything. He's like, dude, I don't see anything. And the gauge is going down and down.
Oh, really?
On the dashboard. It's like 25, 24,
Oh, that
23,
fast.
22. Like something's definitely wrong. So then I turn the car off and it's quiet. And then all you hear is just. Psst.
Oh, you can actually hear it coming out. Wow,
You can hear it coming out. So it's this is going to be flat by the time I get out.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to call. I called Liberty and I said, "Hey, here's my AAA number. Do you mind calling AAA and telling them to come over here? If you need to know which court I'm at, just call the guys at the office. Tell them you're helping me out."
Right. That's awesome. Yeah.
And so I've got to keep in mind, I've got to get back to Kimberton to teach the seminar.
Oh, jeez.
So I get out of court. Liberty said it's all taken care of. They're on the way. I'm sitting there. It's like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And they called up. They were like, "Mr. G, we've got your order in here. The problem is that in order to tow you back to Exton from Allentown, they're not going to be able to get over there until around 5:30.
Okay.
And I said, I don't need a tow to Allentown. I got one flat tire. I just need you guys
to
change the tire out for me. I'm in a 3-piece suit. I can't get on my hands and knees.
Right.
Please help me out over here. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we had it in the system wrong. We'll get him over there."
Oh, no.
We get that little spare thing on. Guy comes over. Really nice guy. Gets that spare put on. And then I had to drive to Kimberton at 50 miles an hour is what they say. You're driving those things, which is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Right.
Like I was going to jump out of my skin.
Yeah, I had to drive back from the conference on the turnpike, and I was like, everybody's blowing by me, you know?
Kid's name was Lewis from Elite Auto Services in Quakertown.
Oh, shout out.
Really nice guy.
Hey now, Lewis.
Give him a hey now.
Hey now.
Really good dude.
That's cool.
I don't carry cash on me, so I said, I'll send you over a gift card or something like that. And
that's cool.
He was like, well, even better than that, if you could just leave me a review, that would be nice.
Oh, cool.
I said, I'll leave you a review, and I'll also send you a gift card.
Very nice.
And I'll mention you on the radio. So
all right.
Knows about it. Lewis,
shout out.
Elite Auto Services.
Very cool.
Best
those guys are great, man.
Nice
yeah,
guy.
I've had some AAA folks come out. They're pretty.
Well, sometimes you
guys,
get nice guys. Sometimes you get
Yeah.
guys who are grumpy,
So what time did they arrive, Mike? I'm curious because they said due to COVID and, AAA has really been backed up.
I was out of there by about 4:30.
Okay.
And I was out of court by what? 3:30?
Okay. Not too bad. That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I think I was out of court by 3 because I wasn't in there 2:30 hearing and I wasn't in there very long at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a few minutes.
Worth the wait. Yeah, a lot of flat tires going on, huh?
A lot of flat tires going on. It's like an epidemic.
It's the new thing.
A pandemic.
If you're driving, listening to the program, don't get a flat tire.
Don't get a flat tire.
Those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So what else have we got going on? Is everybody enjoying our jams? You mentioned the jam in that video, didn't you?
Yeah, briefly. Yeah. Then I did check out the most recent one you guys were doing. You guys are sounding better and better and looking good. A lot of fun. Wish I could play an instrument, but
introduce some new tunes. It's always
Yeah.
fun just coming up because we're really learning these songs on the spot. It's not like we sit there and practice them. Most of them, we've never even attempted them on our own, let alone together. I'm just like, well, I know how that song goes in my head. Let's see if we can play it right now, live, while everybody's watching.
Go play outside somewhere. That'd be fun. Get Ralph a full-size piano and stick him in Valley Forge Park or something.
Well, he had a full-size keyboard this last time. He had 88 keys. Yeah, it's an 88.
The 88 keys. Nice. Yeah, he's good, man. He's really talented.
Oh, he's the best.
Something about the piano or even the keyboard, it just brings everything together.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know what it is. It's just like I love guitar, I love singing, but without the piano, there's something about it. I just
Rita
love it.
says
Like,
she's thinking of a few songs to request.
Oh, nice. There we go. All right.
That's cool.
Very cool.
The new ones from this week we came up with on the fly were we did "If You Want Me to Stay" by Sly and the Family Stone.
Awesome.
We did "Wonderful Tonight" by Eric Clapton.
It's a
Trying to
good
think
one.
of which other ones. Liberty did every Patriot song imaginable. National Anthem, "God Bless America."
Way to go, Liberty.
well, we were trying to do the Trump.
America the Beautiful. What other ones?
Yeah, we were trying to do "Proud to Be an American," that song, and also "You Can't Always Get What You Want." All the Trump songs when he goes on stage. Me and Ralph
Right.
Kind
Yeah.
of were excited about that.
Oh, we did "Get By with a Little Help from My Friends." Not the Beatles version, but
That's a fun-
the Joe Cocker version.
That's a good one.
The
Actually,
one that's in the Wonder Years intro. Remember that show?
we're prepared
Oh, yeah.
for that time because we were trying to get that down, so we got that.
Nice.
Rita's complimenting you, Liberty.
There you go.
Thanks.
Rita
Thanks,
says
Rita.
Liberty sounds great.
You do. Yeah, Liberty's got quite the voice on you there, Liberty.
Thank you.
I had another listener write me saying that as well. So you got a fan club. You got a singing fan club.
Yeah, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm slowly rehabilitating my voice. So
Need a name for the band. What were we talking about? Mike G and the.
Mike G and the Zucchinis that TV came up with. He made the album cover. I was laughing hysterically when I saw that.
Jazzy Ralph did not like that name.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what
He
does
didn't
that
put
mean?
the
I'm a zucchini. A zucchini like how? You know?
He didn't play at the White House to be called a zucchini.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
What kind of
This guy
zucchini?
played
I'm here to make you
Carnegie
laugh.
Hall. He's played at Carnegie Hall.
The question is, can Russ play an instrument? And do the audience want to see Russ at one of the jam sessions?
Oh, Russ
No.
is awesome on the tuba. You got to see.
Right, the tuba, yeah. You did go to band camp, didn't you?
No.
No. Okay. Just checking.
Except Liberty's not going to be at the next jam session.
Look at this. Trump. We got Trump on the show. All right. Welcome, Mr. President.
Oy.
Where's that coming from? I just see Trump in a tree.
Trump
This is
stuck
really
in a
awful.
tree?
Can somebody figure this out, please?
Trump in a tree.
All I see is Trump in a tree.
I was actually I wanted to find the Biden thing, but I found the Trump one. So there you
Like
It's
go.
like Cobra in a can.
Wasn't that a band Dr. Seuss book, Trump in the Tree or something?
Trump in a tree.
I just FYI, I'm not seeing the jungle. I am seeing the regular feed. I'm seeing the black and red on Philly Chris and the white.
It's okay
background.
on my end now. Are you okay, Mike, on your end? Or are you still
No.
seeing us?
No, I just see me and you
Hey, Mike.
Oh,
in a
okay.
tree.
Mike.
Oh, you still see that?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Mike.
Yes.
At the top of Skype,
Yes.
there's a section on the upper right that says Together Mode. There's a drop down. Change it to Grid Mode. Or grid view, whatever it is. That
Yeah,
should
there's
set it
4
back to
little
normal.
boxes, and then
I've got it.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, all right.
So somebody changed it for all of us, and we had to change them back manually. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Somebody done
Gotcha.
goofed.
Gotcha.
I'm scared to tell you now.
Liberty's afraid to admit that it's her.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I just remember all of a
didn't
sudden
know
it
that changes
popped up, and we were in the Amazon somewhere together at like an old temple. It was pretty cool, though. You know,
It makes me laugh.
it's like we were in some sort of Zen garden.
The audience couldn't see that either, right?
I don't know. It's
It was
unfortunate.
just us.
They saw
might
it.
enjoy it.
They saw it briefly because Liberty activated it just before the Mike G in the Morning plug,
Oh, okay.
where I was supposed to like show the website, but I was too busy fixing this crisis.
Liberty is the last person I would suspect. I was fully prepared to yell at both you and Russ.
Actually, okay, I'll tell you what happened, guys.
What
So the
happened?
little
Wait,
grid-
can,
the
wait,
little
can we
grid-
have it in the chat? Liberty did that.
No, hold on.
Liberty did that. We'll have to get stickers for each
Guys.
one of us.
Some Liberty stickers.
For each one of us. There'll be
Right.
Russ
What
did
happened
that
was
with him
I couldn't-
sleeping.
It all started with I couldn't see Philly Chris on the feed. So I said, "Where's Philly Chris?" I just saw Mike. I wanted to see Philly Chris and the chat. And so I hit the grid and I change it to speaker view, and then there's like together mode, and I hit together mode, and that puts you guys in the Amazon.
It's nice when we're together, though. Peace and love. Together.
Rita didn't see it. I think I'm gonna put the picture in the doc so everybody can see.
All right, there you go. Throw it in there. It
Who
was
do we
quite
got?
serene.
Are we doing the 2-week-old news this week?
We probably should, right?
We can.
Yeah.
2-week-old
Yes.
news?
Russ is supposed to call him at 7:30, so it's 7:54. Let's give him a call now.
Let's give him a
Oh,
call.
why didn't somebody give us a... Why didn't you say so?
I think you guys were going off about your.
Did I ever show you this? My finger's off the trigger, even though it's a little toy keychain.
Guys,
Oh, nice.
Laser
guys,
pointer.
while he's calling John, can you please put the picture up of them in the Amazon? I put it in the doc. It's
My
really-
muzzle's in a safe direction. It's
Yeah,
not near my head.
Always point it behind your head.
It's not near my head. Fingers off the trigger.
Don't aim down
Good
the
for,
sights. Point it
for your
behind
seminars.
yourself.
Where'd you get
That
that?
way
Sorry,
you
Russ.
don't hit anybody.
Russ,
This is actually
Right.
an instructor named Barbara out in Carlisle.
has two tasks. Russ has two
Got me
tasks.
this. She said I was at a rest stop and I saw this and I said, Mike G's got to have this.
There you go. Nice. Oh, there we are.
There it is. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now everybody can see.
Yeah.
Can everybody see
Everybody
that?
can see what Liberty did. But now I got to put up the privacy screen so I can give this whoever it is a call. 2-week-old guy.
I don't know. Maybe we should do the show like that. You know.
No.
No, Russ, that's not the number. That's the comedian. So don't call the number that's in the doc. You have to
What?
call
Then what?
the number.
What'd you give me that number for?
Russ,
It's
I
for
already
later.
told you. I put it in the Skype chat, Russ.
The
it
Skype
down.
chat. The Skype chat.
Now everybody can see what we look like.
I think that's hilarious. That's why I wanted to put it up there. I think
That
it's
should be the thumbnail for the episode, shouldn't it?
I think it's the mistake of the night. Just saying. Sorry.
Good job, Liberty.
I think they look so cute together in the Amazon.
We usually say that if Liberty says it's a bad idea, then we've got to run with it, right?
Right.
All right, calling.
Anytime Liberty's like, all right, guys, you can't do that. Please, come on. That's ridiculous. You're like, yes, it's going to be gold.
Gold, baby.
I forget
That's
which
right.
video it was. I said the first time that happened, I showed her this video that I was making. She was like, "You're not really gonna put that out there, are you?" Yeah. She's like, "That's ridiculous. No one's gonna like that." It was like our most popular video we've ever done.
Yep. And you and Chris. And
Your
then you
call
and
has
Philly
been
Chris,
Whoa.
forwarded.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No
Seriously.
answer.
You and Philly Chris, when you guys were doing some videos together, you guys, oh my gosh, you guys came up with some wild ideas. I'm like, do not do that. You guys are going to go viral. You're going to be banned.
Well, it's an interesting thought, though. You know, how much do we hold back? And especially the way things are right now. Like, I don't know. I feel like holding back is, it's not time to hold back, you know? Gas.
Russ is
hit the
waiting
gas
to.
pedal.
Russ is waiting to show a special video, or
What do you got there for us, Russell?
Yeah, I was going to
That's
show
Liberty. Hey, Liberty.
my specialty as
Why
a
is
tuba player.
Doing that. Okay. So this is the episode. This is a wild.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
We're ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Process service set to call him at
I got a
8:50.
job following fat people around with a tuba.
Stop it! Cut it out! I have a glandular problem.
That'll be $60.
Cut it out! I'm just trying to live my life. No one taught me about carbs.
pretty good.
That's good.
That's what I would do with a tuba.
That's what we need. We need somebody to follow Russ around.
Who's
with a tuba.
calling me? Hang on, guys.
Banana phone.
This is quite the episode.
Yeah.
I know,
Just sit back
absolutely wild.
Sitting back and watching this wild event.
Going rogue tonight. Going rogue.
The comedian
Very
who's supposed to come on,
Yeah.
and we'll have him explain it in more detail. But basically, what happened was Mr. T put out some tweet that he got the zucchini, and so this comedian posted one of the pictures from Rocky 3 with Mr. T laying down on the canvas after he just got knocked out. And he wrote underneath it, Mr. T in about 6 hours.
Right.
And see how you laughed? You're like,
Yeah.
that's clever, you know, that's
Right.
funny. That's what it was supposed to
There's
be.
some humor there.
And this is not a political guy, this comedian. Not at all. It's a joke. Funny opportunity. Mr. T retweeted it.
Mm.
And all heck was broken loose.
Oh,
Is
that's the process.
Is this
server.
John?
This is John.
John, you're on the Mike G in the Morning program. Hey now.
Hey.
Hey now.
Got some exciting news for you guys.
You have opened up a whole new world on this program, and we are starting a regular segment. John brings you the 2-week-old news.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got?
Hey. Oh, well, apparently Judge Brown Jackson is up for nomination. And here, listen, Ted Cruz was called to question her, and he asked her, and I quote, "Do you agree that babies are racist?"
And what was the response?
She took forever to respond, and she's like, "No."
What
Just a
else?
straight up
What
no.
else did they ask her?
That was the main thing, but they brought up her book called Anti-Racist Baby. They're kid books.
Wow.
Oh.
Did they
Apparently
ask
there
her
are a
what
couple kids.
Did they ask her what a woman is? To define.
They
woman?
did not, but I think they should have. Maybe she would have known. But
Yeah,
then
right.
again, she's not a biologist.
Oh well, that's true.
She's not a biologist.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's.
Oh, man.
I'm glad that we had you bring that news up. You got anything else for us?
Oh, yeah. Will Smith comes up to the stage at the Oscars and gives Chris Rock a nice slap across the face.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Were
you.
people shocked?
Thank you, John. That's amazing.
Yeah. And he yells to keep his wife's name out of his mouth.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Certainly.
incredible.
Mhm.
But he took that slap like a champ.
We'll have to check this out
And people
thought-
were really surprised about this, I guess.
next week in the news.
See, Chris tries to do the opposite. He tries to tell us what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Right. Try.
I much
Oh.
prefer the 2-week-old news, though.
It's more interesting.
Okay.
It's more.
Well, one of the funny things is that we're talking about this upcoming election because you look around and see what's going on in this country. I can't imagine how anybody who voted for this man would say, yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm glad I voted for this guy. This is exactly how I hoped it would turn out, and I
Right.
can't wait to vote for him again.
This was all part of the plan.
I can't imagine that anybody's thinking that right now.
Mm.
So
I miss mean tweets.
you miss mean tweets, right?
Exactly,
You much
right.
prefer the mean tweets. Now, you'd hope that
And I miss the way he
translates-
said China.
Oh, of course. You know,
China.
We'll always miss.
China.
China.
But you'd hope that this translates to results, at the ballot box. But the problem is
Yeah.
that with this 24-hour news cycle and so much coming at you at all times, people now have a very short memory. So something that happened 2 weeks ago really feels like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Like how much was this stuff all over the place, and now it kind of seems like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the news cycle is crazy fast now. You're right, Mike.
They have to make room for new stuff.
And it just gets crazier and crazier,
Yeah.
I kind of like this idea of John coming on because it refreshes our memory about
That's
what
true.
happened just 2 weeks ago. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to note what happens this week, so 3 weeks from now he can let us know.
And that's right.
But
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks. It's the 2 week
Yeah.
old news, not the 3 week
2
old
weeks.
news.
3 weeks.
Listen,
does
we don't
remember-
do 3 week old news around here. What are we, animals?
Is that too old? I'm sorry.
That would be for
What were you raised in a barn?
I apologize. My
You
bad.
should be.
It seems
Don't live
every
it
time
under
he's
a
on,
rock.
Yeah.
it seems every time he's on too, there's like actual real breaking but bad news too. Like last time it was the shooting, but then actually I wanted to say today there's breaking news out of New Jersey, the American Dream Mall. Somebody was shot there in New Jersey. So
Yeah, what do we know about that? What do we know?
I have a lot of family members that go there. And they're actually there last week. And I have a friend who's actually supposed to work there today, and he didn't work there. He called out for some reason, and it happened. I don't know what the details.
But the real question in
That's
this
some pure
scenario,
luck right there.
the real question in this scenario is: do we know the gun's pronouns?
Well, that's a good question. It's an important question, Russ. You bring up an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Maybe from a legal perspective, Mike could define that.
Yes.
I'm gonna lay off. If somebody is hurt or dead, I
Too
really
soon
don't
for
want
us.
to joke.
Yeah.
About, you know.
Oh, okay.
That's probably not.
Somebody got
a nice
somebody
thing
was
to do.
shot. They got.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, but the thing I
You
think
can be
the
as pro-gun
breaking
as you want and anti-liberal as you want, and you could still feel bad
Yeah.
when people are dead because of something or people are hurt. You know.
But I don't think they caught the guy yet, and they were still on lockdown, saying people not to leave, not to go near the area. So I don't know if they caught him or whatnot, but it's pretty scary.
And when did this happen? Was it today?
Literally, I got the call from my friend who was supposed to be working there today.
Okay.
Right before the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are no details about it. Why don't we all start furiously Googling or duck
Yeah, I'm gonna duck,
or
duck,
or
go
we
real
can't duck go it either. You said anymore. So what can we do?
Yeah, I'm
Well, the
hearing some
police are
things about that.
searching. The police are searching, and I also have a family member who is a police officer there, but not in Rutherford, but close to there. But I don't know. I don't know if they caught him yet. That's really what I'm curious about. If they caught the suspect.
One man shot.
Yeah, one man, but there's I guess it matters that they catch him.
Yes.
I don't-
If you don't want to use
Unclear
Google,
if the shooting took place inside or outside the mall.
In the parking lot.
Yeah, it looks like Governor Murphy tweeted about it. I have been briefed on the shooting at the American Dream Mall, and they've set up a command post. We are closely monitoring the situation and are praying for those impacted. The public is advised to stay away from the area at this time. So New Jersey State Police are investigating, but yeah, not a lot of details. But yeah, it looks like it literally happened around 5:50. Liberty, sound right?
Yeah, sounds about right. I think
Yeah.
my friend was briefed and was waiting as people at the mall where he works on lockdown, or they were on lockdown. I don't know if it's released yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, who knows? We'll keep them in our prayers that nothing bad happened. Nothing bad besides nothing else worse.
Nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know if
One person shot.
Looks like there was a shooting at American Dream Mall. Man shot in his chest 2 times. He putting something on Twitter there. So
It doesn't sound like something random, does it?
not really. No.
it sounds like a targeted attack to me.
Yeah,
like
it could
a
be.
murder.
Yeah.
Hearing some background noise there. Somebody's underwater right now, going for a little swim.
That's 2-week-old news.
Is that what that is? Yeah.
The 2-week-old news has to be done in the car in the rain with the windshield.
Oh, it's the windshield wipers. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the
John,
same.
was there any other 2-week-old news? I think it's better than the current news because the current news is always bad.
None that I could think of at this time.
Okay.
I will say, so regarding the Will Smith slap, so apparently Jada, after all that, Jada went out there and said she didn't agree with it and wished it was handled differently. And oh man, they tore her up on Twitter. They said, what the heck? The guy goes out after you cheat on him, then he goes out and defends you, and now you can't even. No, gosh, it was all for nothing.
Poor guy can't win, right?
Yeah.
He wears the pants in that relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, for real, right?
Yep.
I hope he learned his lesson.
Are we sure that relationship has pants?
Probably not.
It's hard to tell these days, right? To tell.
Pants
Oh,
for it.
Yeah.
I misplaced my
Oh,
trousers,
God.
so I
Did you
put these
say
shorts
pants?
on.
Did you say pants? I'm sorry.
Did someone
Square
say
pants.
pants? I much prefer a dress.
Dress.
And the other news.
Who wears the
the
blue
other-
dress in this relationship?
Oh, she said it. Jada Pinkett Smith wishes Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock. I'm not a woman who needs protecting.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah,
love
that's
that.
why
Wow.
she like had that
Protect
scowl
herself.
on her face and looked directly at him, like do
Right.
something about it. You
That
know?
wasn't a
Oh, no,
scowl on her
She's
face.
the
That
one
was
that
just her
protects Will
face.
Smith.
Rita has a question. Rita has a 2-week-old question for John.
John.
John, do you think Will resign
Yes.
from the academy?
Say that one more time.
John, from Rita, our listener. John, do you think Will resign from the academy? Which, hint, hint.
No, I doubt that.
That would be preposterous, but I guess we'll
Yeah.
find out in another week or so.
Guys,
Yeah, we need
guys,
another week.
guys,
Another week for last
Yeah,
week.
we need another week.
guys, he already did resign, I believe. That's
Yeah,
the funny
that's
part.
the joke, Liberty.
Oh, okay.
Liberty, where have you been the last 2 weeks?
It really hasn't happened
The
yet.
joke is that it hasn't been
Yeah.
2 weeks yet, and so John isn't predicting that it will not happen.
It hasn't hit his news cycle yet. Give it a week or two.
Oh goodness,
Oh, that's great.
this
that is
is
wonderful.
great.
That is
I'm enjoying this section, this segment myself.
It is quite entertaining. Quite good.
And Philly Chris, take over for a minute.
Yeah, sure. Did you have any news, John, about I heard a rumor you might be pregnant from a UFO or something?
I'm not. No comment.
No comment on that?
Do you
That's
feel
good.
bloated?
No comment on that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm very bloated, big time.
Bloated. Well, you brought that up, Liberty, didn't you? You sent me something about that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? What did?
Aliens are literally in the news. Philly Chris has been waiting
Mm-hmm.
for this moment. I'm trying to pull it up, but it was something about like super classified documents. Okay, here it is. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies. New Pentagon report claims. Okay, from the Pentagon.
From the Pentagon.
1,500 pages of UFO-related research were just declassified as a part of an FOIA request. And Joe Rogan had posted it, and he said, "I'm pregnant."
right. That's why you don't know it, John, yet. But in 2 weeks, you're going to announce you're pregnant when the news cycle catches up, I guess. Yeah.
But Chris, what's your reaction to that?
What's that?
What's your reaction? I mean, what bizarre.
Yeah, I need to look into this a little bit more. You know, the thing is, one of the reasons I've discussed this topic on the program for a while is, and as I mentioned before, I believe we're going to see more and more, information released about these unidentified flying objects, this aerial phenomenon that we're seeing, and some people are saying that it could be some sort of national security threat. So, watching the narrative as it continues to progress. But this one's kind of a curveball with the whole pregnancy thing. So I really don't know what to make of that. But
hopefully it's just women, not men.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Men can.
I did find an article. Let me see. I'll read this here. For 5 years, the U.S. Department of Defense ran a program that monitored reports of human encounters with UFOs. Now, the release of more than 1,500 pages of documents reveals that the agency compiled bizarre stories of unaccounted pregnancies, radiation burns, and even brain damage during a secretive stretch from 2007 to 2012. First published in the British tabloid The Sun, in compliance with a FOIA, and that's what you were just talking about, Liberty, the Freedom of Information Act request. The collection of documents was originally created by ATIP. We've talked about ATIP and Luis Elizondo on the program before. Its existence only became known to the public after former program director Luis Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon in 2017 and released videos of unidentified fast-moving aircraft. While the
I
US
leave you 2 minutes. You're already
Right.
talking about this alien stuff. Seriously.
Well, this time it was Liberty's idea. But, you
Oh.
know,
Liberty
as I
did
mentioned
that.
before-
Don't forget about mind control.
Yeah, mind control. Right. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
being mind controlled for a minute there, Mike. So you can't really blame it on any of us. But, you know, I think there's, you know, we got to watch for the
We
propaganda.
need to start building our bunkers if we don't have any already.
Exactly. Yeah. We got to go to the North Pole with Russ. He's got a nice big bunker up there.
But Silly Chris, like where it says it's coming from the Pentagon. So where is this coming from? Like who is doing that?
Well, you
Who's
know,
put-
I think it's important to question the Pentagon and look at a lot of the other things they're involved with, you know, like the critical race theory and these other things that they've done with the military. So whether or not you want to trust their information at this point is completely up to you. But, you know, if you wanted to make fun of a topic, this could be a way to do it as well, which they've done in the past with other things they've released that, you know, could be considered propaganda. So,
I mean, that's wild. That's
So,
a wild
sure.
report.
Yeah, it's really out there, right?
Here's a question: those unaccounted for pregnancies,
Right.
they started collecting the stuff in what 2007?
Well, they've
Do
been
we
doing it a
know
lot
if those
longer than that, but
pregnancies?
this particular, yeah.
Do we know if those pregnancies came to term, and human baby aliens were born? Perhaps
I don't know. We'll have
morphed
to
into
look into
Hillary
that, yeah.
Clinton.
Mm-hmm. Good question, Russ. Hard to say. Hard to say. Yeah, we'll have to look into this one a little bit more. But I don't think that's
Randy
the end
asks
of it.
why there are no more seminars being held in Wilkes-Barre area. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't actually schedule the seminars. I only show up when they're on the schedule.
Mhm.
But I will pass that along to the folks who are in charge. We just did one with Gallagher Guns over in the Poconos.
Oh, yeah, Brian, right?
I kind of put Brian on the spot during the seminar because we're talking about the program. And I said, and Brian's going to be a guest in the upcoming weeks, right? Said,
Oh.
how many people want to see him be a guest? And everybody went nuts, like 40 people. So, Billy Chris,
Okay.
you got to get Brian to come on the program for
Oh,
next.
okay. I can reach out to him. I think I still have his contact info from my Law Shield days, so I'll give him a ring.
Yeah.
And
Good dude. Good
yeah,
dude.
yeah. He's a good guy.
We're doing that high profile gun cases seminar
Mm-hmm.
where we talk about a bunch of different cases.
Have you ever been to his shop? You probably haven't, right? His shop?
I've not had the opportunity, no.
Okay. Mm.
I know that he's very good for if you have something that you can't get anywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
he'll find it for you. He'll get it.
Sure.
He's really good like that.
Good like that.
Rita asks, are you going to be at the seminar in Kempton on the 21st? It looks like from some quick math, that's a Thursday. And I have a commitment to be on this program on Thursdays. So if that's so, then it would be a Richard Roberts seminar.
Richard Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.
Richard Roberts, the other half of the Justice Brothers.
That's right.
He's got to get back on the show, too.
Yeah, we need him back, brother.
Been in court with him like crazy this week.
Yeah, you've been really busy lately. It's nuts.
Do you think he'd
Sometimes,
answer?
um,
Do you
like
think
when
he'd
like
answer
how
to a
Russ,
surprise call?
similar to how Russ produces shows. sometimes
Rich would be furious if I did that.
if you did what?
If we gave Rich a surprise call.
Would he? Would he?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, he would be livid
We should call him then, is what you're saying?
because he's such a perfectionist, you know.
Oh,
He's-
gotcha.
He's you see the way he dresses and everything. He's just
Sure.
like everything's always 100% in
Mhm.
order. He's a very meticulous kind of guy.
Yeah, that's good though.
That's a good
what I
quality
want.
to have in a
Oh yeah,
lawyer.
that's what you want. Somebody who's very thorough, you know.
Right. Definitely want that in your lawyer.
And he's
Yes.
certainly quick on his feet and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mover and a shaker.
So, if we did call him and he had to talk, I'm sure he would be just fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
But I would guess he would also be furious with me.
He would
Like,
give you such
I'm
a
used
talking
people
to.
being furious with me, but it's kind of my
It's
thing,
okay.
right?
We can
Kind of
deal
my
with
thing is people being furious.
it. Right. Yeah, you kind of dealing with that on a regular basis.
Just tell him to get in
Very
line.
Rarely leave a courtroom without somebody being furious at you, right?
Mm.
If you're in there kicking somebody's past 8 o'clock, I could say ass, right?
That's right. We're in the rogue hour. The Rogue Hour.
The Rogue Hour.
Rogue Hours.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we should come up with a list of guests who we should have on, because we've got quite the crew with the program, right? So John is now a regular guest.
Absolutely.
The 2-week-old news. Has Randy ever come on the program?
Randy?
I think we got Randy on once.
Hey guys, I have to roll out to find some more 2-week-old news.
All right, John.
Take care,
it really
John.
takes a lot with your research and a lot of time invested.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of research. It's state of the art, man.
I appreciate that. You had to dig in the archives, right?
Right.
Dig in the archives. It gets dirty in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see in the library where they got those newspapers that have like the long sticks on them?
Yeah.
Oh, like where they hang them up? Yeah, they're like hung up or something. Right?
Yeah. What's the
I've
deal
seen
with that, Billy Chris? Why do they have the sticks on the newspapers in the library?
I think so you don't steal them. Maybe can't walk out the door.
Really? Oh, so
I don't
you
know.
can't just like, so you can't bring them in the bathroom? Is that why? You can't.
You have to go sit at the table or the special chairs.
The sticks don't fit through the bathroom doors.
It's like before they had the RFID theft, detection systems. You had a giant stick attached to your newspaper.
Didn't they have the episode on Seinfeld about the one guy brought the book into the bathroom and they said it's been flagged? They wouldn't let him return it.
Right. That's right. That's good stuff.
Guys.
Yes.
Yes, Liberty.
I wanted to talk about Elon Musk getting the biggest share of Twitter, and so they were calling for him.
Hold on, did John really have to go? Because we have to give him a proper goodbye. If so,
he's telling us.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, John. Thanks for joining us.
You too.
Peace out,
All
John.
right.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for the update. 2 weeks ago in the news with John.
Randy says, "Seriously, Mike, I thought you had the memory of an elephant." LOL. I'm just messing with you. We had to give you the mustard award once, though.
Right. Before you get into that, though, I just wanted to finish my purchase of 9.2% of the Twitter stock real quick while we're talking about.
Push it up to 9.3.
9.3.
Philly Chris is in the lead now. And I have questions about this for Philly Chris, actually. But so Elon now is the biggest shareholder, and therefore they're calling for him to reinstate Trump. And, they're asking how do the other board members like this? And so far he's gotten a pretty good welcome, they say.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a question. Can you literally, if you're just a shareholder like him, like you could literally buy into a company and all of a sudden you're like the lead? Is that just how it works?
Yeah, pretty much, with a public company, Liberty, if you have the funds to do it and the shares are available for sale, you can, buy interest in the company, and you can get a voting interest or a controlling interest. That's how these hostile takeovers happen. You get basically 51% or higher of the stock, then you really have say in what's going on. So it's interesting what he did, because he matched some of the largest owners, like Vanguard is one of them, that's listed, and some other big financial institutions. So, but he's saying he's going to be kind of quiet, but just the fact that he did it is a statement in and of itself. So I think that's interesting. And I think they'd be hard pressed to cancel him at this point. I suppose they can do whatever they want, but what's fascinating though is the stock went up, I think, about 25% after he did that. So he made like $600 million in a few hours, which is kind of nice.
Even if they canceled him, couldn't he just uncancel himself because he's a majority shareholder? Couldn't he just be like, no, this is against my interest. Get out of here. Put me back on.
Right? Yeah.
That would drive me nuts. Jack Dorsey, who I guess his stock is like 2-point-something%, so he's way lower. But that would drive me nuts if I had a vision for a company and then somebody can just push their way in. I would never want to go public. I don't know how you guys feel.
No, it's a great point. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to lose control of your company, certainly don't go public, unless you are always going to have enough funds to have the controlling interest, but that's not always feasible.
Well, I think what we should do now is invest in YouTube. Mike and his big fat stacks of lawyer cash. You can just buy YouTube, right?
Mike already has a controlling
Mike?
interest. That's the only reason we're still on the platform, Russ.
Oh, okay.
You know that.
I was actually
that's
just
right.
looking at our community guidelines strikes
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
because we're coming up on the anniversary.
Does
Well,
that does
those
they
should
go
have
away
cleared
after
in-
a certain period of time?
No, so it says warning on April 17th, 2021.
Oh, yeah, the warning doesn't go away.
Mike G in the
strikes
morning,
do.
live in the evening, 4:15:21. Policy, medical misinformation.
Isn't that
Actions,
factual information? Anna?
appeal rejected. April 18th, 2021. It says, a review confirmed that this content violates YouTube's community guidelines. Totally does not, by the way.
Right.
No further appeal is possible. They don't tell you why. They don't tell you what specifically.
Mhm.
You know what we should do?
Warning, your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. Because it's the first time your account isn't affected. You're only warned once, and this warning will remain on your channel forever.
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 Forever and ever.
If this happens again, your channel will get a community guidelines strike. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week.
You know what
we should have
do?
a backup.
You know what we should do? Well, we already have a backup. It's
we
called
have
Rumble. We should take that episode, and by we I mean me. We should take that episode and repost it to YouTube because the misinformation that was misinformation then is now regarded as fact today. Do you think they would
Well,
remove
we didn't
it?
even say anything. We didn't even say anything that even approached that.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing anyhow.
there's probably somebody in an outsource center that's hired to just click, this, confirm this violates the guideline or whatever.
Oh,
It's somebody paying
that we said potato, turnip, or zucchini in their English translation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we said about it, it's kind of like with the motor fraud, right? The DARPA.
Yeah, the motor fraud, the boater fraud.
Boater fraud.
Voter fraud.
Soda fraud.
Well, the fact that you couldn't say the phrase was ridiculous, and I think they changed the bot on our account because
They
we
had
put
to.
out that video. They had to, otherwise it would have drawn like 25 red flags.
You should put that. You should put that video out now. We should watch that video. The good
Which
old
one?
days.
You want to watch that now for a good laugh?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay,
Why
let me
not?
see if I
You
can
have the
find
one,
it.
the one that I posted on our YouTube channel. You just go through. It'll be back to. When was that? What time would that be?
Then after that, you can play the other video I asked you to make for this week, Russ. You got that done, right?
Yeah, we're gonna take bets on that.
Okay.
Maybe we could play some kind of a game. Like every time they mention the words, you had to do a shot of mustard. Every time they say election fraud or voter fraud, you got to do a shot of mustard. You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. They took us down for saying, apparently you're not allowed to use the words election fraud, is what we said in that first video. Second video that also got taken down, this one was a compilation of, I believe, our Christmas episode.
Yes.
And I said something along the lines of, people go out on the news and say, there's no such thing as election fraud. There's no evidence of voter fraud. And Russ said, Mike, how dare you? There's no such thing as election fraud. And that got taken down. The rule says you can't have content that advances false claims that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of any past U.S. presidential election. Okay? So these are the rules, everybody. Is everybody listening? So being Mike G and a wise guy, challenge accepted, YouTube, right? So let's
Bring it on.
So what if you said that there was no widespread fraud, errors, or glitches that changed the outcome of any past U.S. presidential election? Or what if you said nothing changed the outcome, right? What if you said voter fraud did not change the outcome of any past U.S. presidential election? Is that okay? Actually, Chris, Reuters did a fact check. This is true.
Oh, they
Reuters
did?
a fact
Oh,
check,
okay.
and they said, claim that turnout numbers prove U.S. election fraud uses wrong figures. Okay, so that's a fact check. All right, the claim that turnout numbers prove U.S. election fraud uses wrong figures. That's a headline from Reuters. As a matter of fact, New York Times wrote a good one. They wrote, "Why beliefs of 2020 election fraud could last well past Trump." The CNN article that said GOP donor who donated millions for voter fraud investigation wants money back. And at the Brennan Center, this is another well-respected program.
Oh, good.
They have something that's titled "Assessing the Voter Fraud Commission's Evidence." Seattle Times.
Hey guys.
Said Trump's election fraud falsehoods have cost taxpayers $519 million. So that's straight from the Seattle Times.
Right
Trump's
one?
election fraud falsehoods have cost taxpayers $519 million. We better be careful about saying the words election fraud, because you're not supposed to say the words voter fraud or election fraud. You could be taken off of YouTube for saying those words.
For saying voter fraud or election fraud?
Yes.
Wait, which words? I wasn't listening.
In the past for saying the words voter fraud or election fraud. So I wonder if you said that there was fraud, errors, or glitches, but they didn't change the outcome of any past U.S. presidential election. What about that? Do you think that that's safe to say? Are you allowed to say that pursuant to the community guidelines?
It sounds okay. I think
Sounds
if you
like an
say it one
SAT
more
question.
time. Could you say it again, maybe? Just to
Sounds like
double
an
check.
SAT question. Yes, Mike, I am able to say the words election or voter fraud.
Election fraud or voter fraud. You're able to say that. I'm very glad to hear
I'm able
that.
to say election fraud or voter fraud. I'm able to speak those words.
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you're
me
doing
too.
so well that you can muster the words election fraud and voter fraud out of your mouth. That's fantastic. Refinery 29. This is another one from a liberal publication. They say their headline is "There's no evidence of voter fraud in Florida despite what Trump says." Interesting wrinkle here. This one actually comes from 2018. So it would have been a presidential election, which leads me to my next question. Because the community guidelines specifically relate to any past U.S. presidential election, what about discussions about fraud, errors, or glitches that don't have to do with the U.S. presidential election, right? Because
I mean,
Sounds
I think
fair.
that you're
Hey, Mike.
being fair about it. You're
Mike,
definitely being
what
fair
about
about it.
what about other countries' presidential elections?
it doesn't seem that if
Do other
you were
countries have
talking about,
presidents?
it doesn't seem that if you spoke about voter fraud or election fraud in other countries' elections, that this particular community guideline would apply.
The 2018 voter fraud outside of a presidential election.
Outside of a presidential election, supposedly, Trump made allegations of voter fraud that didn't have to do with the presidential election in the United States in 2018. And it says there's no evidence of voter fraud in Florida, despite what Trump says, straight from Refinery 29.
Electoral fraud, sometimes referred to as election fraud, election manipulation, voter fraud, or vote rigging, involves illegal interference with the process of an election, either by increasing the vote share of a favored candidate, depressing the vote share of rival candidates, or both.
Or one of those
those are
off-brands.
gross.
I think that should be considered soda fraud, right? What do you guys think of soda fraud? And this guy claimed that he had this huge boat. And, you know, we planned the trip. We stayed overnight.
Yeah.
We show up, and this boat was an absolute wreck.
Yeah.
And that guy certainly committed boater fraud, right?
Voter
Remember
fraud.
that.
Wasn't that
The
boater
voter
fraud?
fraud incident. Yeah.
I
No
went to look
such
at this
thing.
SUV recently, and
Yeah.
you know, this guy tells me you got to test drive this thing. You wouldn't believe the power on it. I get in there. Things like a V4, a four-cylinder engine. I call that motor fraud. What do you think? Like, isn't that motor fraud?
I have a question. So they
Sure.
say that we're not allowed to advance false claims of widespread voter fraud, blah, 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 et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
that's
What if they were true and it gets caught up by this bot that picks up the words voter fraud and immediately shoots down your video?
Well, Russ, I think that's the
What if it were
reason
true?
why we disagree with the policy.
What if it were true, man?
Appreciate you showing up, bro.
I think we just broke the bot today.
Russ, you're fired.
That was good.
Good blast from the past
I
there.
love the ending there.
Yeah.
God.
What if it turns out to be true, you guys? Imagine that.
Appreciate you showing up, Russ. Showing up.
Welcome back.
wonder if we get a picture of that tweet from the comedian who's supposed to be coming.
Yeah, I already put it in the doc. It's at the top. Russ just has to click on the original link is the Mr. T tweet, and the second one is his tweet.
Nice.
It's at the top of the doc.
I don't even know where the doc
Thank you.
You're welcome. I always, I'm always confused with my stories as to whether to screenshot and embed them in the doc and or to put the link. Sometimes I think the link is the best way, but I don't know.
You didn't put any phone numbers in the doc, did you?
No.
Good, because I have it up on screen.
So there it is. See, it says Mr. T tweet, and then it should be right under that.
It's pretty funny that he retweeted it.
Scroll down, Russ.
All right.
Okay, there you go. So first one is the one you click on, and then the second one is actually the comedian's tweet.
From Twitter.
Yep, so there's the original tweet at the top. Mr. T, it's got a lot of likes.
Yes, indeed. Lots of likes.
Read it out loud, Russ.
Lots of retweets. All
Billy,
right.
Chris, read it.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. It's too small.
Hang on.
Russ, he's 100 years old. Put it bigger.
It's really small. Wait, let me make my screen bigger. Hold on a second there. All right.
And just make sure you read it, say zucchini. So.
You're right. I just received my second Moderna booster zucchini, and I feel good. I'm still going to wear my mask and keep my distance because the virus ain't over. Fool. Grr. There we go. Ain't over.
All
fool.
right, Russ, now go to the second one.
Is that
Go back to
actually
the doc.
Mr. T?
I bet he loves it when a plan comes together.
Mr. T in 6 hours.
There it is.
It's a joke, people.
It's actually kind of sad because that literally happened to like a bunch of celebrities. So
Well, plus we had that comic. We played the video of her on stage. And
Yeah,
she was
and she
talking about
kind
it,
of
and
just
she,
fell
like,
over.
Yeah, fell over.
Passed out.
Like literally.
She's
I
like,
mean,
I just got my 40th bonk.
yeah.
Thud.
I even got my shingles shot.
context, just so we can keep, I mean, in my opinion, I don't know how you guys agree, but it's a sad thing that people are getting side effects, but because it's being pushed on us by the government, it becomes a point of sort of like this kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
like these types of jokes, quote unquote. It's really sad, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I saw something the other day about some more adverse stuff going on. So we'll see. Everybody can decide for themselves whether they want to get zucchinied up or not. But
What's everybody think of that tweet? What's your opinion?
I think it's pretty funny. I mean,
who's using the chat?
The audience.
we can't lose our humor. I think we're in big trouble when you can't joke around anymore. And we've seen times in history where, we've gone through those periods of darkness, if you will, where there's, people lose their ability to laugh at things and joke around. And I don't think it's unhealthy,
Russ, play the video that I just put in the chat. This is a fun one.
Okay. What do we got?
Putting it in the... never mind. You're supposed to put it in the doc.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grumpiest producer in radio. Russ, the producer.
I don't know if I'm the grumpiest.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should have a vote.
Grumpiest one I've dealt with.
Can we do a poll on that?
100% you're the grumpiest. Oh
We
my
need
god.
a poll. Yeah, we need a poll. It's probably because it's so cold at the North Pole. Must be all bundled up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How's Rudolph, by the way?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Last I saw him,
see?
he was sniffing around the dock, and he couldn't find the links that you guys were posting. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Do you feed the reindeer Hot Pockets? Do they eat Hot Pockets?
No.
No. Cold Pockets?
Yes.
Okay.
Made out of ice.
Nice.
Indeed.
It's more like the Grinch. Sorry.
Grinch. The Grinch.
Mr. Speaker, Vice President Cheney, members of Congress, distinguished citizens and fellow citizens. Every year, by law and by custom, we meet here to threaten the world. The American flag stands for corporate scandals, recession, stock market declines, blackmail, terror, burning with hot irons, dripping acid on the skin, mutilation with electric drills, cutting out tongues, and rape.
What is happening
speaking
here?
the truth, huh?
Our first goal is to show utter contempt for the environment.
Oh, man.
I have sent you a comprehensive energy plan to devastate communities, kill wildlife, and burn away millions of acres of treasured forests. This government is taking unprecedented measures to protect our people and defend our homeland. We've begun inoculating troops and first responders against ballistic airports. And this year, for the first time, we must offer every child in America 3 nuclear missiles. To date, we have arrested or otherwise dealt with 400 billion key commanders of al-Qaeda, which is enlisting tens of thousands of new volunteers across America. They include a man who directed logistics and funding for the CIA. One of them is found at the Department of Defense. One by one, the terrorists are learning we are building a culture to encourage international terrorism.
It's like he's saying the quiet part out loud.
Almost 3 months ago, the United Nations Security Council gave Saddam Hussein his final chance to disarm. The British government has learned that Saddam Hussein recently had an advanced nuclear program chemical in his arsenal, even while inspectors were in his country. Our intelligence sources tell us that he has attempted to purchase 7 million hydrogen-powered doctors and the western wall of the Pentagon. The United States will ask the UN Security Council to convene on February the 5th to consider the facts of Iraq's ongoing defiance of the world. Secretary of State Powell will plant information to incite fear about Iraq's links to terrorist groups. And tonight I have a message for the people of Iraq. Go home and die. Trusting in the sanity and restraint of the United States is not a strategy, and it is not an option. How you feeling? Feeling okay? I hope so.
Feeling okay. It's pretty good.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty. Somebody did a good job with the editing on that. Man. It's pretty fluid. Where'd you find that?
Somebody sent it to me in like high school when it first came out.
Oh, really? Oh,
and I just thought of it, and I said this would be funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
First to watch this. I don't know what made me think about it.
We should play that every week.
It was pretty good.
Wow.
All right. What do you think? We ready to call it a night?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan, brother. I guess we're not having the guest on there.
He got tied up.
Oh, he did. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Good show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back. Yeah. Sounds good.
Liberty's messaging. What's this about? I'm confused. I don't remember when this happened.
It was one of those secret meetings.
Watching the George Bush video.
Yeah, I think isn't that the meeting Alex Jones snuck into and recorded or something?
I realized after that it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Only after though.
At first I was like,
John's gonna come on next week and be like, hey guys. Apparently that video you guys showed wasn't real.
Right.
I was like glued to the TV during the Bush era, and I was like, what the heck? I didn't remember any of this.
You have the transcript. Did we find out that you and I each, after one of the debates, printed out the transcript and had them in class to argue?
Yep. Literally.
You were in college and I was in high school.
Yeah, I was in college. I was taking notes, and my college roommates, they didn't know what to think of me, but I was like so into the debate. So yeah, I printed out the transcripts so that I could bring it to my political science class.
Very cool.
Very funny.
It's meant to
and
be.
You did too.
This program, this is a team that's meant to be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It'd be nice to have some of our guests pop in and out, you know?
Did Philly Chris print out to George Bush?
Yeah, he brought it to work with him.
What was it? What I missed?
And brought it to Philly Chris. Printed out the George Bush debate and brought it wherever the heck he was.
Of course.
You can just imagine. For some reason, I just don't see
He
that.
brought it to his kids' parent-teacher conference.
That's right. That's right. That is correct.
And in fact, that was a lie. That's what I was saying to all the liberals in my political science class in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Jersey.
That's all the time we got for today. Stick around for We the People, the Constitution Matters. Pastor David Whitney, Professor of Philadelphia. I won't be joining today. We miss you.